Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the newest season of the most must-see podcast in the history of the NJSSL. Welcome back, folks, to the Cutting Redge. We are here live with Qassim Hussain, a second-year member of the NJSSL, I guess you can say, and first year being a captain of the brand new league within the NJSSL, NJSSL Soccer, or as our friend Qassim likes to call it, as he's from the UK, NJSSL Football. We have 4 teams this season, and it's going to be a great season. We're already 1 week in. Qassim, so I guess just to introduce you, this is now your second season in NJSSL after playing on the Patriots last year. You're
Mm.
now the captain of Timeless FC, or Timeless Creations FC, Timeless Creations Football Club.
Mm.
First off, how are you, my friend, and how are things going so far?
Alhamdulillah, bro. Thank you for having me. So far so good. From the point where where they chose me as a captain to the point where we are now, everything's been going very smoothly. And GSSL is a very, very good, strong, brotherhood. Very welcoming. I've not been here for very long, but in the short time that I've been here, Alhamdulillah, things are going very well. Great people, and I'm very happy to, be a part of this whole kind of project.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, and I think we're all happy that you're a part of it as well. I think actually, if for our viewers that haven't really gotten a chance to like meet you, talk to you, give us a little bit of background on yourself, right? Like when, just like on your life, what you're doing now, everything.
Yeah, sure. So, originally, well, Pakistani, but lived in London, UK my whole life, born and bred. I'm in banking at the moment, and my company moved me out to the US in Jersey 2 years ago now, just over 2 years. So that's why I came over to America.
Makes sense.
Settled in after about 6, 7 months. Eventually started going to the mosques because it took a while for me to settle, get a car, those kind of things, right? Eventually, when I got there, Alhamdulillah, I got involved in many different, community projects and lectures, majlis, everything, right? And that's how I started to kind of build my network. The best network you can have are people of your own, where you can learn from and have that sense of brotherhood, right?
100%.
So yeah, I've been here for 2 years now. Alhamdulillah, 2 years strong, going really well. I'm very happy with everything that's happening so far. God is the greatest. Have to thank him always, for everything that happens in our life. And you know, I'm looking forward to seeing what the future holds here.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, so I have to apologize right now in advance because inevitably, I think, given that you have, obviously a very strong British accent, I may inevitably start talking in a British accent too. So I don't mean any disrespect.
Bismillah,
It's just
Bismillah, bro. All good.
it might happen. I can't help it. It just might happen. Okay. Anyways, so
It's normal, it's normal. Everyone does it.
perfect, perfect, perfect. Well, anyway, so this is the first time we've had soccer in the NJSSL, so it's awesome to have you be a part of that. How long have you been playing soccer for now, or football, rather?
I've been playing for, I mean, I'm 30 years old now. I think I've probably been playing since 5, 6. In the like the way you guys have American football, basketball, how it's your big thing here. Over there,
Mhm.
soccer is it, right? So I've been playing it since I was very, very young. I played at a high level as well when I was very young, like from like 9 years old to 11. And since
Mhm.
then, I've just, kept at it. So I was very happy that NJSSL actually did a soccer season because it's suited to me. In the last
Yeah,
season
of
when I was
course.
in American football, is like massive learning. This
Yeah.
time, I'm getting straight into it, getting involved. People are, aware that I'm able to play this game a little bit. So it's good. I'm very thankful again. Like, the spirit is really good with the soccer season so far.
100%, 100%. It definitely seems that way. I think you were the first overall pick, right? This season, like you were
I,
the,
I had the first pick in the draft.
yeah.
They wanted me
Right,
to be
that's
the
100%.
captain. Yeah, yeah, it got randomized, but luckily I got the first pick. But again, it was a little bit difficult as well because again, I don't know that many people. I'm still learning who people are and all those
I'm
kind of things.
I was gonna
Mm.
say, I mean, it was interesting to kind of look at your team. Just to kind of, I guess I'll pull it up. We'll kind of talk about the draft first and how you think that went. I guess
Mm.
generally speaking, how did you think? Like, what was kind of your strategy going into the draft? Because it looked like you picked a lot of guys that are also new to the league as well.
Yeah, so luckily I did know a lot of the good, like the top talent
Hmm.
within NJSSL of the people who kind of signed up, and of that, a lot of the newbies were from MFI Mosque, right, which is where
Hmm.
I'm close to. So I met a lot of people out there. And I've played with them, right? So I knew who they were. I also kind of knew in the back of my mind that with the captains who were there, they're gonna have their own favorites as well. Because if you've got like 10, 12 really good players, let's say, who are going to be picked first. It's not about who's the best, it's about who you prefer to have, right? And I kind of knew that others will have their preferences on who they're going to choose. And I knew for a fact it wouldn't be the ones that I preferred, right? So I was kind of comfortable. I knew that, like, my people at the beginning, my first 4 or 5 picks were kind of low key. Nobody really knew them except me. So I knew I would get them. I was pretty confident I would get them. Once I got them, that's when it got difficult because it's like from that point on, now I don't really know that much about the rest of the
Sure.
players. I was relying a lot on some of the people who I'd already drafted, and they were giving me some feedback on who some players were, what they were like, because I wanted a nicely balanced team as well. But obviously, being new, not knowing everyone is kind of difficult. But again, like I said, the draft did go well altogether, and I'm very very happy with how the team has turned out so far.
And we'll definitely talk about the successes in week one of Timeless Creations FC.
Mm.
Just to go through Timeless Creations FC, they're led by you, obviously Qassim Hussain,
Yeah.
and then first pick overall was Ali Abbas Kareem, followed
Mm.
by Ali Zaman, Syed Abbas Haider, Ejaz Rizvi.
Yeah,
I think all four of those guys, if I'm not mistaken, are new to the NJSSL,
they
and
are.
of
Yeah.
course beautiful. Then of course we have Taha Rizvi, former quarterback for many teams.
Mm.
Mustafa Musavi, who I think played basketball one season.
Hmm.
Syed Naqvi, who is pretty irrelevant. We don't need to talk about him. Ali Pirani, Misam Zaidi, Asad
Mm.
Merchant, Sabit Sayani, and then we got who else? We got Qasim Rizvi. From Long Island, if I believe is what it says here.
Yeah.
Zaire
Mhm.
Rizvi, Abbas Rizvi. I'm not sure what he's doing in this league, and Imtiaz Gazmi.
Mm.
So a very, yeah, like I said, well-rounded team. You have some older guys, you have some younger guys,
Mm.
and so far the Timeless Creations FC is off to a good start.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you got kind of exactly what you were hoping for. Why don't I actually? What I'm interested in hearing is what your opinions are of some of the other teams as well.
Mm.
So to kind of go to the next team, this was actually the team I think you guys played.
Mm.
Was Irtizaz's team, Velocity Capital
Yes.
FC. So this
Mm.
team is Irtiza Mumtaz, Sajjad Naqvi, who is the younger brother of Sayed Naqvi,
Yeah.
Abbas Natani, Heather Abbas, Hussein Abadi, Zain Mumtaz, Rayan Alidina, Hussein Heather, the dentist from Malton, John Naqvi, um, Zohaib Mumtaz, Faizan Razi, Naqi Abbas on Merchant, Sean Zaidi, Abid Siddiqui, and then Officer Ali.
Mm.
So, just generally, what are your general thoughts on this team?
So in that team, I didn't know that many players.
Okay.
So I wasn't sure what I was going to face up against.
Having played them, what were your thoughts?
Having played
Walk me
them.
through that.
So I mean, I knew half of the team, half I didn't. So I
Sure.
kind of expected it to be a fairly good game. But in my mind, the back of my, I did feel like I had a much stronger team, right?
Hmm.
But the paper says one thing, action is another, right?
Of
We only
course.
won 1-0, right? Whereas we were thinking we can walk this game, right? It just goes to show how good the talent is. I mean, they played very well. They were a very well organized defensive team, and they had a very good game plan as well in terms of like how to take some of us out of the game, for example, and just
Mhm.
play their game a little bit. I think we controlled it very well for the most part. We dictated the game and the tempo. And we controlled the midfield battle and made sure we won all the 50-50s, right?
Mhm.
Um, but credit to the team because they made it very difficult for us.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
Mm.
I mean, I only got a chance to watch the highlights of the game because that's
Mm.
all that was posted. But they did a great job of like pressuring you guys, right? Like I feel
Yeah.
like they had good ball movement. They were able to
Mm.
kind of get the ball down to your side of the field and put like constant pressure. They had I mean I don't know if anybody kept the stats for how many shots they had on goal, but it
Mm.
seemed like it was good. I'm not sure who your goalie was, but definitely seemed like he was stopping a lot of good shots.
Yeah, yeah. Taha was our goalie. He did a very good job. I mean, I think they had about 2 or 3 really good opportunities where they could have scored, and Taha did a good job there. But yeah, yeah, right. They did progress the ball well. They contained us very well. They basically forced us to take a lot more risks, right? Because we
Mhm.
wanted to play a very compact, simple game, but the simplicity wasn't working because they had a very good compact unit at the back. So when we
Mhm.
started taking the risks, naturally mistakes will happen and they can, somehow capitalize off it,
Of
which they
course.
did pretty well. But I think a lot of our risk also paid off in terms of some of our passing and ball movement, things like that. But all in all, like it was a very, very good battle. I think it was a very clean game as well. There was like, no animosity or anything like that. Very, very good brotherhood on the pitch. But yeah, I
Good.
mean, I think they'll be giving other teams a challenge as well.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
they'll.
no, I'm sure they will. I was gonna say it was very rare, to hear that there wasn't that much animosity on the pitch because this is the
Yeah.
NJSSL
It's
after all, so
NJSSL, yeah.
usually animosity comes with it. But no, I'm glad that was a good game. Definitely great on their side. I guess we're just kind of recap the game right now. But the one thing, I mean, of note that even on your side of the field, like or on your team, there was a lot of excellent ball movement that I noticed,
Mm, mm,
and a lot of trust in a lot of the other players. And so early, to see that sort of cohesion amongst a team is
mm.
pretty rare in the NJSSL, and that's usually what you see out of these championship caliber teams, such as the Falcons, from last season.
Yeah, yeah.
Like there's just a lot of trust in all the players, a lot of
Mm,
good chemistry, and I saw that, and I would say the man of the match has to go to the one and only Qassim Hussain, not only because he scored the only goal, but he
mm,
from the 3.5 minutes I was able to watch, like it was just you were constantly in the right place at the right time. And I
mm,
think that that one shot that you did have was an excellent shot. It was well placed,
mm.
in on the right corner of the back of the net. So what was kind of your mindset like right as that was happening?
So, like the game, when you're a captain of a team, there's a lot of pressure that comes with it. Like everyone's relying on you to keep the mentality high, keep the focus, and keep everyone in the game locked
Mm-hmm.
in, right? So it's important that the captain is doing that first and foremost. So it's important that my brain is in the game. Luckily, as you said, we have a massive chemistry as well because the first 4 or 5 picks that I had are players that I've played with before. So we kind of know each other. We kind of gelled already before we even started the game. So we knew what to kind of expect. Obviously, we had some new players as well who kind
Of
of
course.
came into the bond, and that worked out really well as well. And it's just a matter of like, yeah, again, as you say, I was in the right place at the right time. I was being sensible. I was trying to just make sure to make the game as easy as possible for everyone else as well because they had a good game plan for me. They put one of their strongest players on me for a lot of the game. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, it was not necessarily to do a lot with the ball, but do a lot off the ball. Because
Sure.
if they're having someone in their team on me all the time, that means my job now becomes to take him out of the game. If he's trying to take me out, I'm taking him out as well. So it opens up a lot more space for other people to start doing what they want to do. And I've told the team as well, play with a bit of freedom, play with a bit of, passion, go for it, enjoy it. Like if you lose the ball, not a problem. Just work hard to win it back. That's all I ask. Otherwise, take your risks. I'm down for it. Do what you want.
Yeah, it's a very sound strategy, and clearly it paid off in week one.
Mm.
And with a good 1-0 win over the or 1-0 win, I should say,
One.
over Velocity Capital FC. I guess we can talk about the other game, but let's talk about the other two teams that played the other game. So I guess the first one, we'll talk about the winning team, Hosseini FC.
Mm.
This team consists of Zan Joffrey, Farhan Ehsan, Mehdi Joffrey, Shahrukh Naqvi, Samir Ahmed, Yasser Rizvi, Mustafa Hassan, who is always drafted much lower or later in the draft than he should be, Sarur Abbas, Adil Kazmi, Adi Shah, Hassan Zaidi, Mazahir Dhalla, Zohair Rizvi, Ali Sheikh, Shabazz Ali, and Ali Abid. This was before you even saw this team play. Kind of, what were your thoughts on them?
Well, 'cause I know a lot of those players, and the first thing I thought is a very athletic team.
100%.
They've got a bunch of gym animals, people who are in good shape. So it's like they might not be the best in terms of soccer, but if you're an athlete where you got stamina, you got strength, you can run, and you got somewhat of skill in the game, you're going to be a problem to deal with. So after
100%.
watching that game as well, because again, on paper, people would have thought the other team was going to win, right? But
Yep.
it was
Yep.
completely the opposite. So again,
Yeah.
like paper means nothing. It's just about the game. So they're a
100%.
team that I look at and I think they will definitely pose us a massive challenge.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, I was exactly what you were saying, right? I had the same kind of initial instinct was it has a lot of the top athletes in the NJSSL, not necessarily top soccer players, but definitely
Mm.
guys that are top athletes.
Yeah.
And they proved that this past week that that is enough to pose a significant threat to any team that underrates them or undermines
Mm.
them. As they had a massive victory over their
Mm.
opponents, who was AHK Anjuman Hyder Qarar FC. I guess we'll talk about that team really quick. That team consists of Captain Vali Mirza, former captain of the NJSL Falcons and NFL or football champion.
Mm.
Then they got Raza Rizvi, which I believe is Karachi Vala, but I could be
Yeah.
wrong about that.
Karachi wala, yeah, yeah.
Karachi
Mm.
Vala, excellent. Shabr Sayed, Shazan Khan, Sayed Fazil Heather, Irtaza Abbas, Qasim Rizvi, Tahir Raza Khan, Safir Rizvi, uh, Ali Abdi, aka Adbi, Ali Rizvi, Akbar Rizvi, Ali Ahmed Shah, which is probably the most useless football, or sorry, soccer pick ever. And then Hussein Muklai and Faraz.
Mm.
So definitely a team that has a lot of soccer players on it.
Yeah.
A lot of guys who, I guess, individually, all those individual players are all very skilled at soccer and very skilled. What that team lacks, and I think what probably people didn't take into account going into week one is they're not really guys that gel very well. There's
Chemistry
a
is big.
lot of I think
Yeah.
there's probably going to be a lot of internal struggle on that team
Mm.
with different egos and different just guys that might not necessarily work very well together.
Mm.
I don't know what was your thought kind of just upon, at the end of the draft when this team came together.
Yeah, so like in terms of their chemistry, I wasn't familiar with that at all again because I don't know them well enough to know where there'll be clashes and things like that. But I had played with a lot of them, and in my mind, again on paper, they looked to be the biggest threat because their picks in the first six, seven picks looked very strong,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
All of them can play. I've played against them. I played with them, so I know what their talent is like. So I immediately thought that in terms of technical ability, in terms of soccer, they would be our closest competition, right?
Without a
Um,
doubt.
I, I mean, again, the result shows the opposite, right, from what happened. But again, I'm not going to rule them out still because you never know. It could have just been one bad game, right? And then they might just turn it over in another one. But generally speaking, that team on paper has a lot of skill. If they kind of fix this chemistry issue that they have, they could be a formidable force and they could take it, right? They are a threat, 100%.
I think so too. I think so too. And I think inevitably, I think as time progresses, they're going to kind of get that chemistry together. You might actually know the answer to this more than I do. Is how many games are there this season?
So there's 5 games in the league. Everyone plays 5 games each. So you play each team twice and you play one team once.
Mm-hmm.
And then first place will play against the fourth place in one of the semi, and then second and third, and then the winners meet in the final. So
In the final.
everyone is guaranteed a playoff. It just depends on the results who you're going to end up playing in the semi-final.
Interesting, interesting. So
Mm.
definitely, there's plenty of season left. There's plenty of time for these
Yeah.
teams to turn around. Just to recap that game between uh, Hosseini FC and Anjuman Hyderkar FC. This was a one-sided blowout. I mean, Hyderkar started off on a strong note. They had a goal from Vali Mirza, but
Mm.
as that game progressed, the one thing that was repetitively noticeable is that the Anjuman Hyderkar defense, at least to me, per the highlights, just seemed to be sleeping
Mm.
most of that game. Like there was often times where like all the entire defense would be watching the ball,
Yeah.
completely oblivious of other attackers that are trying to that are open
Mm.
and like a quick cross to like to the open attacker would allow for a quick easy goal. And I thought that happened a couple of times.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts upon watching this game?
Yeah, because I actually refed the game, so I was
Mm-hmm.
in the heart of the whole thing. And you're exactly right. Like there was a lapse in concentration a lot of the time, and this is the thing in soccer, right? Like it only takes a few seconds of sleeping to get capitalized on, right? And that's
Absolutely.
exactly what happened. And when you've got these athletes in Husseini FC, they are fast, they are strong, they're gonna pounce on these mistakes, right? And they've clearly got the quality to do it. They've shown it.
Yeah.
So it's like they need to. It's like how I said for my team, play with freedom, but if you lose the ball, win it back, right? That's all I don't think that mentality was there. If they adopt something like that where they are in the game 100% and locked in and not at 50%, 70%,
Mm-hmm.
then they can do well because you have to be at 100% in these games. You can't be complacent against anyone. I think maybe that was a little bit of complacency as well when they went 1-0 up and you're thinking on paper they're a much better team so they can probably
Yeah.
get the job done, right? But then
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can't underestimate anyone. You just never know what's going to happen, right? And exactly that.
And exactly, and just it went from bad to worse. I think at one point it was like 4-1, and then they scored their second goal. It's 4-2, and then
Yeah.
6-2
Yeah.
finally. And a big shout outs to the entire team on Hosseini FC.
Mm.
I think I saw some big plays from, but I'm not sure if I saw Farhan. I thought I saw Farhan in that game making some big plays. But definitely huge goals from Zan Joffrey, Mehdi Joffrey, and I believe Shahrukh, and I believe a header goal, if I'm not mistaken, from Samir Ahmed, right? Or did I
For
make
me,
that one up?
I would say Samir was the one that dictated that match. He
Yeah.
was playing in defense to begin with, and then at halftime, I think when they were 2-1 up, he came into the middle,
Mm,
and he started to control it. So in soccer, whoever controls the midfield is most likely going to win the game. They call it the midfield battle. You have to win the
mhm.
midfield battle, and Samir did that. You know, he controlled it very well. He was playing very
Yeah,
simple, but clean soccer. You know, his passes were good, his movement was good. He played a good game, and he
yeah.
kind of dictated it from the middle of the park. So he kind of coordinated everything that was happening around. It was really good, really strong.
And I think that's key, right? Because we mentioned all these athletes that aren't necessarily soccer players, but I think it sounds like Samir is somewhat of a
Yeah.
soccer player, right? So,
Samir and Farhan, I'd say, are the two who have that technical ability to
mhm.
carry that game forward. And you know, if you add ZJ, Mehdi, and Shahrukh Naqvi, sorry, from I don't know why that happened, but if you add
It's
those
all
three
good.
athletes to the mix, you've got a very good balance there with those five players, right?
Yeah,
You got
yeah.
technical and you got physical strong, and it's
100%.
it's formidable. It's tough to deal with something like that, you know.
100%, 100%. And then don't even count out. You got Mustafa Hassan. He's there. He's obviously a soccer minded guy. You've got
Mm,
Ada, who's again another athlete. So it's just top to bottom. I mean, I think they have a very, if you think about it, they have the right personnel that complement each other, and I think
100%.
that is what led them to victory.
Balance is a good balance, yeah. Mm,
Definitely, definitely. I didn't get the schedule ahead of time, so
mm.
week two for upcoming this Saturday. Who do we got for who is Timeless Creations playing?
So we are playing against AHK, Anjuman Haider Karawali's
Heather.
team. So
Got it.
they're here for like redemption, you know. I know they were practicing this week as well. So they're going to be up for it because they need to turn it around and you know kind of get the momentum back in their favor a little bit so that they can start you know getting some results. We plan to not let that happen, you know, as painful as it is to say that, but we want to also win the game, right?
Of
So
course, of
it'll be a
course.
good battle, you know. I think, like I said, on paper they're a very good team, very good technical team, and I think we're a very good technical team as well. So it'll be a good game to watch, you know, for the people on the side to see,
Hmm.
you know, which kind of technical battle team is going to have the upper hand, and should be an exciting one.
Yeah, I think it'll definitely be a good game. I think based off what we saw this past week, until I think Anjuman Haider can kind of get their act together and kind of
Mm,
make sure that they're able to play well together. And I think even as this week has been going on, I think there's been some locker room issues amongst Anjuman Haider Shezan Khan. So we'll see what happens. I guess. I mean, I don't know. It just seems like one thing after another. So, if they can get that chemistry together, maybe they start Shazan on the on the bench this game, and maybe bring him in halfway through and see what happens.
he's a good player though. Shazan is a very
He's
good
an
player, man.
excellent player. I thought he was going to be the MVP this season, but I mean, not off to a great start. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see what
Um,
happens.
but uh, but yeah, so we gotta give the prediction to Timeless Creations FC.
Yeah.
What about for the other game? What do you think would happen between Husseini FC and Veloz
Um,
Capital?
so I think if Velos Capital plays the same way they played against us,
Hmm.
I don't think they will concede many goals. I think because defensively they were very, very, you know, well organized. If they continue that organization into that game, I can't really see them conceding many goals. But at the same time, they have to play a little bit offensive as well because
Hmm.
whilst we were playing, you know, risky football, and they didn't like they had chances, but they weren't as clear cut. They've got to give themselves an opportunity to get clear chances where they can actually score the goals, right? And it's
Yeah.
going to be difficult to do against this team because, like I say, you know, the athletes are going to be very fast, very quick. You know, their recovery is really good. So if they lose the ball, their recovery ability is very, very strong. They can run back and get back very quickly, and they're physically strong. So it will be a very interesting game. I don't know who's going to take it. I think Hussaini FC might take it,
Hmm.
but I think it'll be close. I don't think it'll be a walk.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I think exactly what you're saying, right? I think that the defensive effort from Velocicapital will be a lot better than defensive effort from AHK this past week. So I don't think Hosseini is going to score more than at most two goals.
Mm-mm.
But I think if they can keep up their offensive attack, the way that they did against you guys, I think they'll have a little bit better luck
Mm.
against. I'm not sure who the goalie was
I think
for
it's Adi, and Adi's a very good keeper as well. I have to say,
yeah. I think
he's
I
got.
saw Adi, and then yeah, you're right. I think yeah. So that makes sense. So I mean, he yeah. But I think I don't know. I mean, will he be able to do? I feel like the maybe the highlights just made it seem like Daha was doing
Yeah.
really really good as a keeper, but
Mm.
I feel like if they're able to get around Adi, I think that would be huge for them. I mean, inevitably.
Agree. Yeah, Adi's got very good reflexes, and he can also kick the ball quite nicely. He can throw the ball pretty well, so he's got very good goalkeeping attributes.
Mhm.
So it's going to be tough for them to break them down a bit as well. I think it's going to be a good battle.
Yes, yeah, I
It's
think so
very
too.
difficult to call because
Yeah,
again, on paper, they also seem to be balanced. Like
yeah,
it's hard to call which one would win anyway, right? Because I
yeah.
kind of compared them two teams as one, and my team with Wally's team.
Hmm.
Um, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes. And honestly, Velos Capital did a much better job than I had thought, but
Yeah,
also Husseini did a much better job than I had thought as well against AHK. So who knows? Who
we'll
knows?
see. I think if I had to pick, I'm gonna give this one to Veloz Capital, and I'm gonna say the final score is gonna be 3-2.
3-2.
3-2.
Interesting.
We'll see. We'll
Mm,
see what happens.
we'll see.
I could be more high scoring than it should be, but well, I think it's gonna be 3-2 Veloz Capital, and I think in your game it's probably I don't think it's gonna be a blowout exactly as it was last week, but probably
Yeah.
it'll be like maybe like 3-1.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're going in there strong. I personally think we're going to win the game as well. Again, we're
Mhm.
not trying to score the most goals. We're
Right.
just trying to get a lead, play compact, play simple football, and hopefully the mistakes come from the other side and we capitalize on it. Right, that's the kind of game plan we're trying to go with a little bit. We're not trying to take too many. We only take risks if we need to. We had to take risk against Velos Capital because they were playing
Of course.
so defensively, so we had to do something. But I
Absolutely.
think AHK will be a bit more aggressive. I think they'll play a bit more and try and attack us. So
Yes.
maybe it might be to our favor because we've got quite a lot of pace as well on counter attacks and things like that. So we can potentially do something with it. So it should be a good end to end game in
I
this
think so too.
this next game. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, wonderful, Qasim. Thank you so much for your time, man. Thank you for your insight. I think you definitely need to be a regular on here, given all your soccer slash football
Inshallah, bro.
knowledge.
Invite me. I'm here, bro. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it a lot.
No, of course, anytime, anytime. Any final thoughts, regarding week one or the soccer season or anything else?
No, I mean, this is the first time they've done a soccer season. So far, so good. It's going to be a massive learning curve for everyone because, when you're doing this as a new sport for the first time, you're going to learn and adapt, to some of the challenges you face.
Of
There were
course.
some challenges in the first week and we learnt that straight away. So hopefully going forward, things will kind of streamline and get a lot better. But all in all, I'm very excited for this season. I'm excited for everyone to be a part of it as well. And hopefully I can bring a little bit of a victory to my team. That's the goal. Ultimate goal, bring that chip.
Yes, definitely, definitely, definitely. And I think without a doubt, you would be the right guy to lead them to do that. Just as a quick plug, Qassim Hussain represents Timeless Creations FC. Timeless Creations is a Shia owned organization founded and operated by the Edison family in the tri state area. They create backdrops, centerpieces, floral arrangements for any type of event. So if you need any decorative needs for any of your events, do reach out to Timeless Creations. You can reach out to Shoja Ehsan and or Farhan Ehsan from the NJSSL and otherwise the Ehsan family for your Timeless Creation needs. Until next time, folks, this is the Cutting Redge, right here live every week. We're here. We're going to be here to watch through this entire soccer season in the NJSSL. It's going to be a good one. It's already off to a great start. There's going to be a lot of competitive games, and it's going to be a fun season. And then after that, we got basketball. So there's going to be a lot of content for you to swallow over the next several weeks. So until then, stay safe, be strong, and always remember to be a good brother and sister in faith. Until then, folks, have a great night. Ah, okay. There we go.
Done.
Awesome. All right, yeah, we're good, man.
Oh,
We should
lovely.
be set. Yeah. Awesome. Thanks so much again.
No,
Inshallah
thank you,
we'll
bro.
yeah, of course. Inshallah we'll talk soon. Questions, concerns on your end?
No, man, all good, smooth, easy. I
Yeah,
appreciate it, man. You made it very easy for me.
excellent, excellent, awesome. So it should upload like once. I don't know. It's saying it's still recording, but I don't know why it's saying that because it's definitely not recording. So there shouldn't still be recording. So, but yeah, it should upload, and then once it does, I'll upload it to the YouTube page, and then we'll send it out in the group chat.
All
All right,
right.
man. Yep.
Sounds good,
Inshallah.
man.
We'll until then, man. Keep stay safe, and hopefully I'll see you soon.
I'll see you soon, bro. Have a good one, yeah?
Thank you. You too. Take care.
Take care, bro.
Yep. That was.
Good office.